The Bronx, 1945. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Do you remember the world that you grew up in?
I was born in the Bronx.
Okay.
I probably spent just a number of months there, Bronx Hospital. And then the entire family moved. The entire family was my mom, dad, and sister. We moved to Washington Heights in Manhattan.
Okay.
In Upper Manhattan. And lived there for virtually all of my adult life. My parents lived there and died in that two-bedroom apartment. Mm-hmm. And it was just lower middle class. I remember the neighborhood well. I remember Fort Tryon Park. Mm-hmm. I don't remember much of my youth, between 45 and 55.
Why do you think that is?
Either it was an incredibly uneventful time for me with nothing to hang on to by way of memory. I'm just surprised when people can talk to me about what they were doing when they were 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. What the heck were any of us doing? we were doing things with crayons, I guess,
sure.
And maybe on a...
In my case, I remember a lot of those things because a lot of traumatic things happened. So if I hadn't had those traumas happen, maybe I wouldn't remember. You see what I'm saying?
Did you have traumatic things?
Oh, yeah.
Between
the ages of like 4 and 16, there was all this crazy stuff that happened. So my memories are all tied to this happened, like a movie script,
Well, if you're talking about teenage years, yes, I did have some traumatic experiences, but I can recall what they were.
Yeah.
But nothing bad happened to me up to 5. What really got to me around the time I was 14, 15 or so, I woke up one morning with a chronic stutter. A stutter that would haunt me for at least 2 years of my life. I'm going to give you an example, and I'm not making fun of people who stutter, but I talk like this. I'm not exaggerating. So there I was, at PS 187, the smallest kid in the class, the most inhibited, and the one who couldn't talk. What I went through during that period was, so I eventually went to a therapist to try and figure out what it was that caused this sudden...
Did they think it was psychological or emotional?
Initially, they thought it was psychological, then emotional. They couldn't do anything about it. So when I was 17 and decided finally to leave home and came out to L.A., I had the stutter, and I had a New York accent, of course. I go over to LSC College, the only place that's going to accept me, because my grades were terrible. And I tell them I want to be a broadcaster. That's what they did.
It's a good story.
It's true.